When we look at the massive worlds of Grand Theft Auto today, it is easy to forget just how humble the beginnings actually were. In the late 90s, games were played on weak hardware that could not handle full 3D graphics. Because of this, the first GTA games had to use a bird's eye view, looking straight down from the sky. The streets were built like tight grid mazes. You could not look up at the horizon or see what was coming next, so the game felt huge simply because you were constantly lost in a concrete labyrinth. When GTA 3 came out, it changed gaming forever by making the jump into full 3D. But the original PlayStation and early PCs had tiny amounts of memory. To make the game run, the developers had to split Liberty City into 3 separate islands connected by bridges. They locked those bridges with story progress, so the system only had to load one island at a time. The good part was that, for the first time, you could see tall buildings in the distance and feel like you were in a real city. The bad part? The roads were narrow, the world felt dark and gloomy, and if your character touched water, you died instantly because the system could not handle swimming physics or water rendering. Just 1 year later, Vice City brought bright colors, beaches, and neon lights. But because it came out so quickly on the exact same console, the hardware limits forced a massive compromise. To make the game look sun-soaked and bright, the developers had to make the land completely flat. There were no mountains or big hills because rendering elevation changes takes too much processing power. The good side was that you got bikes, helicopters, and vibrant city life. The bad side was that the map felt small, flat, and again, you could not swim. Then came San Andreas, which pulled off a total miracle. The developers wanted to create an entire state with 3 distinct cities, deserts, and forests. But the gaming consoles were still weak. To trick your eyes into thinking the world was endless, they covered the countryside in heavy fog and placed a massive mountain right in the middle of the map. This forced you to drive around the mountain rather than in a straight line, making the travel time feel twice as long. They also finally figured out how to let your character swim and fly planes. The good side was sheer variety and endless freedom. The bad side was that if you flew high enough, you could see the fog working hard to hide popping objects in the distance. When the HD era arrived with GTA 4, the new consoles were far more powerful, but Rockstar took a completely different approach. Instead of making a bigger map, they spent all that power on physics and street details. Liberty City shrank in size compared to San Andreas, but every alleyway felt real. Characters reacted realistically when pushed, cars felt heavy, and you could enter many buildings. The good part was that it felt like a living, breathing metropolis. The bad part was that there was no countryside, no plains, and the gray, rainy atmosphere felt depressing to players who missed the open wilderness. 5 years later, GTA 5 tried to balance both worlds by giving us a massive island. But this led to a major design flaw, often called the donut effect. Because the game had to run on old consoles with limited memory, the developers put one giant city at the bottom of the map, a massive empty mountain in the middle, and small towns around the outside. The good side was that the map was seamless, allowing you to fly jets and switch between 3 characters anywhere on the island. The bad side was that outside the main city, the top half of the map felt empty and lacked a second major city to travel to. That brings us to the future with GTA 6. Rockstar is taking everything they learned over the last 20 years to fix these historical limitations. Instead of one giant city surrounded by empty mountains, the new state of Leonida is built to feature multiple real cities, swamplands, and island chains, using modern hardware to finally deliver both massive scale and deep street-level detail.